now that the wiring is all done over there, all the wiring's done. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is the next series of videos is going to be changing a few things out on the motor. Like they're going to go over the thermostat, get that fixed up. New water pump, just to make it be sure. New water pump. I got to fix the bracket from the dynamo. I got to weld that on. I got to fix the exhaust bracket. Also put the exhaust on. I got a whole new exhaust. Going to go over that. And then the intake manifold. Going to set the valves. Going to set the timing on the diesel pump. I said it before, but I'm going to double check that too. So in the next series of videos, we're going to be doing a bunch of mechanical repairs and fixes and going over a bunch of things on the engine. So stick around and enjoy it. I got a new thermostat I need to install. I got some new gaskets as well, and of course this hose here. And I'm going to got to do water pump. So I'm going to work on some cooling items today. So got the thermostat housing off. It all came off in one piece with these 3 bolts. Got this. This hose wasn't even tight. So I got the fan off the water pump, the pump pulley, and the belt. Come on over here. And there's the front end of the water pump. That's off. So you look down inside there. Let me see if I can get the light to shine. It looks pretty nasty. So I'm gonna try to do some type of cleaning down inside there of something, maybe a radiator flush or something, maybe fill it up with water or something and give a good flush down and out, maybe the side drain plug over here or something like that. But that's looking pretty nasty in there already. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take the water pump bolts out. So I got all the bolts out around. This one did not want to come out at all. It was pretty rough or whatever to try to get that sucker out. So here's the grand reveal. I'm going to pull it out off the pump. Oh, man. That is nasty. Look at that. Whew. Boy, am I glad I am going to be changing this and cleaning this all out. It was keeping cool. It was still pumping and working whenever I had it running. Ugh. So this is what it looks like coolant after 25 years of sitting out in the field. Look how nasty that is. And I do have a bucket down underneath catching this. It's just like slime. Nastiness. Ugh. Ish, all through there, isn't it? So the water just sat there for years and years. The coolant just kind of gelled, became like a gooey nastiness here. Ugh. I thought you guys might find that interesting. Ugh. Oh, it's gross. Okay, now let's see what we can get to come out of this thing. I already got like I said, a bucket down the bottom, and here's a hose. There you go. Got a little bit of stuff coming out. There ain't no easy way of doing this without making a mess. Dude, look at some globs are coming out. Yeah. Look at all the nasty, it's like gold color, the water. Blah. Okay, so what a mess. This is a complete mess. Trying to rinse this thing out. So I had the hose up here, rinsed it out. You saw some water flowing around or whatever. Got the plug out of the side here. Water pump, of course, but I sprayed in here, sprayed in here. Then I took the back plug out here, the heater plug. It goes to the heater core. Took that out, sprayed some water. Here's the temp gauge. Threw some water in there too. Had it going around all over. And then I poured some white vinegar in there. And I let that sit in there for a while. And then a bunch of chunks came out of the side plug. I tried taking this plug in the back out, which is screwed in, but I couldn't get it out. It's in there pretty tight. So it's pretty much flushed as much as it's possibly going to flush. I did take the dynamo off. It's some type of odd dynamo that I'm going to have to make some brackets for to make it work again. So, but anyways, that'll be another video. So water pump and thermostat we're going to be working on. I'm going to let this all dry out while I work on the other pieces and parts. So we'll go over to the workbench and we got the water pump here. This is the original one I took off the truck. And from what I can tell, I think it says made in England right here. And so I'm thinking this might be the original. Some writing right there too. Let's see here. It doesn't really say. It says it's 45 S3 or something like that. I'm not sure what it says. But anyways, so this is the old water pump. You can see how nasty it is. And it didn't leak or nothing. It was actually the bearings in it are still pretty smooth. So it could be still be usable. And I did see online that you can buy rebuild kits. So that might be something I might try in the future someday. So I'm not going to throw this away because this might still be good. Well, it still is good, but it's gunky, but still good. All right, so let's compare it to the new one. Here's the new one. It came. I bought the Air. I think it was AirTech, AirTechs or something like that. But it's supposed to be the better quality one. And I can see here it says made in India, or COF of India. So it must have been made in India. But I bought it from the LR Center, which is lrparts.net. Oh, there it is, right there. The website. And they've actually been pretty good with pricing and everything on parts. So I've been buying a lot of my parts from them lately. So it comes with a new gasket, which is great. And here's the pump itself. And some new bolts. There's 4 of them, so I wonder if it has to do with this maybe. They might be metric bolts, I bet, or something. All right, let's open it up. It's got some pretty cool paper on there, Rustex USA, which I don't think that's America. Funny if it was made in America and I bought it from over the UK. So the propeller looks about the same. Nothing different there. That's a little bit different. The end here, instead of being square, the same shape. I did notice online they mentioned that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 9-bolt pump, and then there was a 7-bolt pump. So make sure when you order it that you're ordering the right one with the right pump or with the right number of bolts in it. So let's take a look, see at the bolt here. Let's see what the ones they gave us. They look a little bit bigger than these ones over here, so yeah, those fit in there. Let's see if it fits into here. Oh, loosely fits into there. Let's try one of the original bolts into this. Nope. It must be a metric thread going into here to put the fan on. Yeah, it must be a metric bolt. So, let you know that these are going to be metric. These are English, the quarter fine thread on these ones. But these ones are going to be metric on here. So, there's not much to talk about on this, which I could still find time in a video to talk about it. But propeller looks good. Bearing feels nice and strong. It doesn't feel wobbly or nothing. It's not moving around, no play. So that's pretty much all you got to do for a water pump. So let's go install it. There isn't much to do. Clean up the surface here. Clean up your engine block as well. Okay, so we're over at the truck. Putting a little sealant on there, a little bit of tacky sealant to go around for the seal. You don't need to use a whole lot, just a little dab will do ya. Just kind of fills in the crevices around where the gasket is. Not a huge amount of RTVC, tar TV sealant. I don't use any of that kind of stuff. Or I try not to on anything. So I just kind of use this, and this will kind of hold the gasket in place. It just kind of fill in the cracks or imperfections on the metal. So it'll seal up good. Okay, got that on. There's our new seal that came with the pump. Put that in place. The tacky thing's nice because it kind of holds it in place too. So you don't have to worry about it. Next thing is the pump. We're going to be doing that next. We'll put a little bit of sealant around there. Also, I don't know if I mentioned in the other videos, in the previous ones, in the previous one or whatever, but the bolts are actually different lengths. These bolts that go around in here, I'll be showing you that in a second here. When I took them out, I put them on a plaque, put them on a piece of cardboard, so then I would put them right in the exact same place again. And since this surface is so smooth, this stuff doesn't want to stick on there very good. The sealant. That's why it's just there to kind of fill in the cracks in the gasket. Okay, fit it on there. Line it on up. I am going to be putting some new nuts and bolts on there. Some new nuts or whatever. They're actually quarter 28 threads. So you should be, like I used it for the rest of the truck, so I already had a bunch of these around. And these two studs on the bottom, actually, they came out with the bolts, with the nuts. So I actually cleaned those off and took those all apart and got the studs away, and then I used Loctite. Then I put them back in with some Loctite, so then they'll stay in there for the next time I gotta take this apart. Hopefully not for a long time. Oh, I just noticed I forgot to put that hose in there. Okay, I'm back. I started freaking out because I forgot to put this on. So I took the pump off and I tried with this off to the side with this attached up to the thermostat housing, the bypass area, and I could not get the hose on with this being on already. So I took this off since the glue is still still wet on this one and this. So I started putting the studs in here. So I put the bolts in here, and then I could put this on it. This was a bear to get on. The hose is just a smidge smaller than the pipe here coming up, and it was a big pain in the butt to get on. So when I took out the bolts of the water pump, I made a little chart here on a piece of cardboard, and S were the studs. So we had 3 up on top, 3 studs, 1, 2, 3, and 2 on the bottom. 1, 2 down here, in which they were the studs came out with them. So over here, these 3 bolts, they're actually 2 sizes. This is a 3" and 1/4. Then this is a 3-inch, and that's 3 1/4. Then this one over here is 3 3/4. So when you take these bolts out that are over here, don't get them mixed up because they actually go in a certain order. And this is the way I took them out, and then I measured them. So just like a 200 TDI, when you're doing a cover on that, I thought, well, wait a second, there's probably, these are different size bolts. So all I did was just do this automatically, and also put the top up on there. So make sure you don't put them in the wrong place. So then you wonder, what's this pink one doing here? Well, this one was actually stripped going around it. So what I did is I filed it down, and I made it, instead of a 1/2-inch bolt, I think it's a 1/2 inch, 7/16. Instead of a 7/16 bolt, I made this one a 12 millimeter because I ground it down and made it into a hexagon again. And I made it to a 12 millimeter. So I made that one pink, so I knew that that one would be 12 millimeter later on in life if I ever have to take it apart again. So next I'm going to put these bolts in, going around. And this was just to tell you, to make sure you don't get them mixed up, the different lengths. Be right back. Okay, I was mistaken. These are 1/2-inch head bolts, and these ones are 7/16 nuts. So now this one's the 12 millimeter, and these are the rest are the 1/2-inch bolts. So the water pump is now in over on this side. So now we're going to put this piece on. Okay, we got the water pump bypass on, and remember to install this before you install the water pump, or you're going to have one heck of a time trying to get this pipe on right here. All right, so we got the water pump on, and the next video is going to be the thermostat. So thank you all you guys for liking and subscribing, following the videos. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Stay awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.